You know, one of the things that was, I guess, a revelation, if you will, to me in reading your book on heaven is the comment that you make that the heaven that exists now is going to be different than the heaven that will one day exist for all eternity. And I thought to myself, well, I never heard that before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've heard about a new heaven and a new earth, but it never dawned on me the biblical explanation that you were giving. Talk to us about that a little bit.
Well, one of the things I develop in the Heaven book is that heaven, by its definition in Scripture, is the central dwelling place of God. Now, God is omnipresent. That means He dwells everywhere in the universe. So how can we say that heaven is the dwelling place of God when He dwells everywhere? Well, it's a special dwelling place of God. Mm-hmm. And it's a place where Scripture says the throne of God is. It's the central place of His holiness and His presence in the universe. Now, so is it true that when we die as Christians, we go to heaven where God is and we will be with God for all eternity? Yes, that's absolutely true. Is it true, however, that the place that we go where we die, heaven, will remain in the same location that it is now? That is not true. And here's how we know that. From many passages of Scripture, but Revelation 21 says, in verse 3, says that God will come down from heaven to the new earth, which He will make. Behold, I create new heavens, new earth. It says, God will come down from heaven and He will dwell on the new earth with His people. He will dwell with His people there for all eternity. 3 times in verse 3, it tells us, God will come down and dwell among His people. He'll be their God, they will be His people, and He will dwell with them on the new earth. It's like He's making an emphatic statement. It's like, don't miss this. I'm going to bring heaven down to earth. And then it says, His throne shall be there. In chapter 22, it says, the throne of God and the throne of the Lamb, Jesus Christ, will be in the New Jerusalem, which is the capital city of the new earth, which is like the capital planet of the new universe. Right. And God is going to have His throne and His central dwelling place with His people on the new earth. What that means is God will bring heaven down to earth. So now, when people talk about, let's make a heaven on earth, of course, they're completely missing the point. We as people are not capable of bringing heaven to earth. But the half-truth is that God's plan is to bring heaven to earth. Ephesians 1:10 says God's plan from eternity past is to unite all things in heaven and all things on earth under the head Jesus Christ, King of kings, Lord of all creation. This is God's desire. And when He created the earth, He created us to have dominion over the earth. There was the first Adam, then there is the second Adam, who is also the last Adam that Romans speaks of, and that is Jesus Christ. He's the King of Kings, and He is going to rule over the new earth, and we'll rule over that under His lordship. So He's the King of Kings. We're kings ruling under Him.
Underneath His authority.
Here's the magnificent thing that relates to your question, David, is Scripture does not teach that ultimately we will go to live forever in the dwelling place of God and angels. Scripture teaches that God Himself will come down to live with us in our dwelling place. And think about the incarnation of Christ. The second member of the triune God has become a human being, and He will be a man forever. This is basic Christian doctrine. The incarnation didn't cease. He will be the God-man for all eternity. So the new earth will be the home not only of human beings, it'll be the home of God. God has become a man.
Wow.
And it blows you away when you think about it. I mean, it's just so powerful.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.